Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Listen, guys, this is going to be the first weekly outlook as far as what I'm looking at, what pairs I'm looking at for the rest of the week. I'll be giving out just basically my bias, what I think it's going to happen is in the market for the rest of the week. What we can expect certain levels to be hit, certain targets as well. And I kind of put that out there a little bit on the webinar last week on Thursday, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that here today. So again, this is the first weekly outlook, first weekly market outlook on the three pairs that I'll be watching this week. Actually, I added a fourth one as well. I was just going to do three, but figured I'd throw another one in there. So so to start off, let's just go ahead straight into it. GBPNZD is definitely one of my heavily looked at ones because it's definitely one of my favorite pairs to be trading at the moment. So just going based off of what I went off on, at the webinar on Thursday, I still have the same idea. I have GBPNZD pushing lower, at least to retest this level here, which, as you can tell, we rejected that same level multiple times here on the left side, and now we can definitely focus on this as far as price action and have the market push down further to our target 1. Now, if we break this level, then our next target would be our target 2 down here, right around 1.9641, and then we have 1.93335. So those are my two levels of my two targets. I do have GBPNZD falling lower this week. And if we see this happening, then definitely our bigger idea is for GBPNZD to take off and go up, push up higher. Just because of the market structure we're currently in, our last valid higher low did happen right around this area here. This is our last big pullback, our last big higher high. The market could then come right back down to around this area here and then reject it, go right back up. If it does cross our previous higher high, then obviously we just made a new higher low, and that is our ultimate goal. So for this week, again, I have GBPNZD pushing down higher. On the 4-hour time frame, we could take advantage of those moves there. So tonight, potentially, as a matter of fact, the market can actually come right back up to this area here, this blue line here, and then reject it and come right back down. Will we see that movement tonight? Perhaps not. I feel like Sundays usually are like the slowest days of the week, and everything will start picking up on Monday. So keep that in mind. I have GBPNZD pushing down lower. I think we will definitely go down to right around this region here. We have this area highlighted, but as you can tell, we had some sort of as we like to call it, a zone, right, or a we have our big rally, then we have our area where the market just chills, right? We have a market where just like it just does some sideways movement, and a lot of the times that's what we want to trade based off of. That is our impulsive moves. Again, the markets like to come back to these areas and retest these areas before we see another direction. So GBPNZD, I have it pushing down lower. CADCHF, same thing. CADCHF on the daily time frame, you'd be able to see that our last lower high did happen around this area here. This was our last big high. Then we had a big, strong push to the downside, and this can be considered our lower low. The market then pushed right back up and tested the same exact lower high before it just started consolidating around this area here. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, and I brought it up in the webinar, was how do we think about, like, how do banks trade, right? How do we know what the market's doing? How do we know where the retail traders are getting in at and what they're trying to do, right? What's their ultimate goal? Their ultimate goal is to continue a trend, right? And banks are aware of that. So banks like to reverse price on everyone. And this is how they make their big money. As you can tell here, we have a lot of consolidation here, right? A lot of sideways movement. This is on daily time frames. This is very important on the daily time frame. Now, what happened as soon as we had this consolidation? We had a big push to the upside, right? Which we had a momentum trend line, which definitely got rejected multiple times. And then what's happening now? We're having the same exact thing happening now around this entire area here. Okay, so what does that mean? Banks are looking to reverse this price back around again. If we check the weekly time frame, we can see that we are actually on a downtrend at the moment. So there's no reason for us to think that we should be buying this market here or this pair alone. Another big momentum trend line that's being rejected multiple times. So we can expect the same exact thing and come back to our original target right around 0.73067 and our larger target back down to 0.72095. Now, will this happen this week? Absolutely, it definitely can. I think we will definitely see some more bearish movement on CADCHF. So keep that in mind. GBPJPY, same thing. I have my same buys on GBPJPY. Our last big, we broke structure right around, let's see, we broke structure right around this area here. We had a high, right? And we're looking for that strong pullback somewhere around this area here. We already hit our first target last week, and we're definitely headed towards our second target, which is great. This is exactly what we want. If we reject this area here, we can expect GBPJPY to push up higher. So we can expect GBP itself to gain some strength this week. So just keep an eye out for that. GBPAUD as well. We're currently on an uptrend on the daily time frame, and we have rejected this level already as soon as market closed on Friday. Now the market opened up right around this area here, and we can expect this pair to actually push up higher. If this pair pushes up higher, then our overall target can potentially be this area here, which would be the start of our impulse, right? This is that big drop that we had last time on the weekly time frame, and that is 1.85657. And then our second target can potentially be the top of this market here, our last high, which is 1.88546. So keep all that in mind. GBP itself, I believe it'll definitely gain some strength this week. You can definitely, just break it down, add your technicals, make sure that everything's on point. You're looking at the market, and you know what your overall bias is. Especially if you get in either too early, you get in too late. Sometimes, again, if you just let the markets play out, you have to let the markets. You have to give them room to move around, right? So that's the whole point. That's really what I'm looking at this week. GBPAUD, like I said, definitely one of my strong pairs that I love to trade. GBPNZD as well. You guys should all know that by now, that as well. But again, this pair is definitely one that I want to look at long term for this week, for the next few weeks as well. If we do see some strong pushes, I believe this will continue going right back up to our original target based off of, I believe, the weekly time frame, which is exactly that, the start of the actual impulse move down right up here. And hopefully if it does get up there, then we should see a big sell-off at this point here as well. So 2.01995. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have on my outlook. Again, I'm just giving you a little recap, a little summary. GBPNZD, I have it pushing down to our first target, right? This is our first target right here. If it does break our first target, we can expect it to come down to our target number 2. CADCHF as well, I have it pushing down, rejecting this strong momentum trend line. I believe it's on the weekly time frame, so we're just going to go ahead and color coordinate that. And then GBPJPY, same thing. I just have GBPJPY actually pushing up higher. Same thing as GBPAUD as well. So just keep all that in mind, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great trading week. We are going to have our webinar on Thursday. And that this is a great opportunity for you guys to really come up with any questions that you have, anything that you're struggling with, right? Anything that you feel like we haven't covered or we should cover, and we'll go ahead and break it down for you as well. So hopefully this helps, guys. I would suggest actually watching the entire video. If you want to put your alerts right around these levels here that we have predicted, then I would strongly suggest that, because for example, if we do get to around this area here, you want to be ready. You want to know why the market's coming down to this area here, and be ready for some sort of reversal, which you can take advantage of as far as a long-term trade. So again, guys, this was a quick little outlook. Hopefully next week I'll have, right now, well, obviously Victor's pretty busy, but it's been a pretty, how would I say, it's been a pretty busy week for me as well. as well as the weekend. So a lot of shit's going on. And again, we're trying to finish up the website. The reason I don't want to put it out just yet is because I want to make sure that it's good. I want to make sure it's perfect. I want to make sure that that the content is right. I don't want to rush into a course, right? I don't want to rush the course and then not give you the entire information exactly how I want to explain it. So I want to make sure you guys really do fully understand it, and hopefully any new students as well can benefit out of that course as well. So any questions, guys? Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on our WhatsApp group chat. You know that we're always available there. So just feel free to hit us up. All right. Have a good one, guys.